All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We're talking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in today's video. We're 1 week in. Technically, week 2 has already started, but neither here nor there. Tampa, week 1, I don't care if you're going up against a new revamped Washington Commanders offense, defense, coaching staff. It really doesn't matter to me. Tampa put up 37 points, right? Baker Mayfield, 289 yards, 4 touchdowns. He was the best quarterback, in my opinion, in week 1, and it wasn't even close. So we're going to get to Baker's history in the last couple of months, going back to last season in just a second, because he really could be on his way to stardom, which sounds funny to say because Cleveland let him go. Carolina let him go. Los Angeles let him go. Everyone just lets Baker go. And 1 year ago, we're sitting here thinking, or a little bit over a year ago, Kyle Trask and Baker Mayfield. Can Baker succeed in another new offense with another new coaching staff, with more new weapons? Can he succeed? And he has probably the best season of his career, 28 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, wins the division for the third straight year, wins a playoff game against a really good team, the Philadelphia Eagles, and, close one-possession game against the Detroit Lions. You guys actually have a revenge game less than 24 hours from the time of this recording in Detroit. And we're going to get to that in just a second. But 1 week in, I don't care if I'm overreacting. I think a lot of people are underreacting to this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team. I think a lot of people are just writing Atlanta as the best team in the NFC South. And it's Baker and Tampa's division to lose, to be honest with you. So welcome back to the channel. Obviously, we're talking about Tampa Bay in today's video. Shout out to BetUS for sponsoring this video. As always, hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL and Bucs content. If we could try and get this video to 100 likes, that would mean the absolute world to me. I literally just moved to Dunedin from Fort Myers a couple of days ago. I really like it. If any of you guys live in this area, let's grab a beer, watch a Bucs game or something like that. But Tampa scored 37 points last Sunday. That was their 2023 season high. And what's so important about this is Liam Coen just made his Buccaneers offense coordinator debut. And so Tampa last season loses Dave Canales. And I think, to become the head coach of Carolina. And I think a lot of non-Bucs fans viewed that as a huge loss. And Dave Canales has a really good track record with quarterbacks. He's a really good offensive mind. But to be honest with you, when Liam Coen was officially hired as the OC, I think a lot of Buccaneers, true Buccaneers fans realized, this is probably for the better. Maybe it's not going to be right away. It ended up being right away, or at least 1 week in, it ended up being right away. But long-term, Liam Coen as your new offense coordinator, I think he brings versatility, big-time playmaking, run game. I just think Liam long-term is a much better OC for Baker Mayfield and this roster. But anyways, Baker, 21 of 27, 289 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 146.4 rating. That's the highest of his Buccaneers tenure, only 1 year in. But Liam Coen, like we were just saying, a huge winner for this. All right, guys, before we get back into this video, if you're feeling the upset, I want to show you exactly what to do here. If you're looking for a new sports book this upcoming or this current NFL season, BetUS should be your answer. I'm going to show you step-by-step for this Bucs-Lions game. We're going to scroll down from football, NFL odds week 2. We're going to go down to this Bucs game. Tampa sitting here, sitting pretty if you're feeling the upset, plus 285. But folks, it doesn't end just there. There's a 150% bonus on your first deposit using BetUS. For your next 2 deposits, you will receive a 125% bonus. So it's 150% on your first deposit, 125% on your next 2, all with the code YouTube150. Thanks, BetUS. Tampa scored a touchdown or a field goal on all but 1 possession against Washington. And once again, I don't care if you're going up against the best defense in the NFL or the worst defense in the NFL. It's still impressive. They punted 1 time. And if you guys remember, this was a team that averaged 4.5 punts last year. That was the 10th worst in the NFL. Clearly punting 1 time in week 1, that was the fewest of any team in the National Football League. But more importantly, Baker Mayfield, kind of a late blooming star here. In his last 5 games, Baker Mayfield has a 119.1 passer rating, 12 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions, and you're about to see the legitimacy of this team and Baker Mayfield specifically against Detroit on Sunday. If you go back to last year's postseason matchup, Baker did a really good job. 349 yards, 3 touchdowns, although he did have 2 interceptions. He did this with pretty much no help from the running back room. In that game, that divisional game against Detroit, only 74 yards total rushing for this team. So it's not going to be easy because Tampa's going to be down at least 3 starters tomorrow. Luke Godecki, Antoine Winfield, best safety in the NFL, in my opinion, and Kalijah Kancey's going to be missing his 2nd consecutive game. But it just sucks that Tampa is getting hit by this injury bug because right now, more than a fourth of their starting 22 has been injured. So it's a very young team, and we're about to see how depth, talent, youngness-wise this team really is in, once again, less than 24 hours from the time it's recorded. The run game's going to be huge, folks. It's going to be huge. It's a new revamped offensive line, specifically with Graham Barton at the center position. He did a really good job last week in week 1. It's just going to come down to the offense because Antoine Winfield's missing. Some cornerbacks, depth players got injured. You're missing your starting right tackle. And last week and the last couple of years, the Tampa Bay running back room has been terrible. And when you look at a guy like Rachaad White, even before Bucky Irvin came in, Rachaad is so talented. I mean, he really is. Like, you see it especially in the receiving game, 6 catches, 75 yards. He's a running back, folks. That was the 2nd highest receiving yardage in week 1 for this Tampa Bay team with Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Trey Palmer, Jalen McMillan. Like, it's a really good offensive cast. So it's probably going to be a shootout against Detroit. They have Carlton Davis, cornerback and from Tampa. They got a rookie, Terrion Arnold, a couple of young kids at the safety position. It's going to be a really good football game, but the run game's going to be huge, all right? The first half of week 1, the running game was just horrible. Designed runs accounted for 21 total yards on only 13 carries, or on a whopping 13 carries, I should say. That's 1.6 yards per carry in the first half. Now, it came alive in the second half, right? Because Tampa Bay ended up running for 112 yards. Ground game statistically in the second half, 72 yards on only 12 carries, averaging 6 yards per attempt. Now, Rachaad White, technically horrible football game, 31 yards on only 15 carries. Bucky Irvin, 62 yards on just 9 carries. So we might see, honestly, I don't think there's much. I'm not really trying to get into the running back battle because I don't think it's a running back battle. I think it's just 2 complementary pieces. Rachaad White is such a phenomenal pass catcher, and Bucky Irving is a big-time playmaker at the running back position. But it's a give and take. 1 week Bucky might be the dude. The other week Rachaad might be the dude. Or maybe Bucky's the dude in the running back game and Rashaad's the dude in the receiving game, just like it was in week 1. But I'm telling you, man, if they can get this run game figured out, Tampa could be one of the best offenses. They could be easily a top 10 offense like you saw last week in week 1 against Washington for the whole entire 17-game regular season. So my whole thing is, so many people just touted Atlanta as the easy winner, 11, 12 football games. And I do say, Atlanta's got a very good offense. They've got an intriguing defense, but the point still stands. Tampa didn't go anywhere. Tampa improved. They didn't do too much. They didn't do anything too crazy in free agency and in the draft. Like, that was by design. You got a great offensive coordinator. You have a really good quarterback. You got a more solid offensive line, more solid run game, great OC. Like, Tampa didn't go anywhere, and they're not going anywhere anytime soon, and I mean that obviously in a good way. So thank you guys for watching. Hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. Shout out to BetUS for sponsoring this video. But, folks, give me a score prediction for tomorrow's matchup in Detroit down below. Have a great rest of your weekend. We'll see you hopefully in 24 hours. Peace.